Check out carmarshal.com. The link is in the description. They help support us.
Watch, rights flexing citizen owns cops, proves he knows the Constitution better than them. An Oregonian constitutional rights flexer shows how to verbally manhandle even the most seasoned police officer for violating his constitutional rights. By Jack Burns, January 5, 2018. Corvallis or, YouTuber Tawasi Sos was recently stopped by Corvallis police and asked to present his identification. In an exceptional display of courage under pressure and knowledge of police procedure, Sos shows his viewers how to handle an unwanted contact with police officers. The entire video serves as an illustration of how to flex your rights as a citizen, and refuse to be unnecessarily stopped, detained, and identified by police. Sos's video begins with a Corvallis Police Department officer shining his high-powered flashlight in his face and demanding to see his ID. He refuses on the basis that he's not committed any crime and asks to know what crime they believe he committed. The officer responded by saying he fits the proverbial description of a suspect wanted in connection with the crime of trespassing. He said in a voice which barely rises above a whisper, "You can't just stop me and identify me, there has to be a charge, something criminal he's believed to be guilty of." When pressed to tell him where the trespassing allegedly took place, Sos says he has a right to know where he allegedly trespassed. The officer wasn't willing to reveal the information, leading many viewers to question whether or not the cop was simply making up a crime in order to stop the pedestrian from continuing on his way. The officer called for backup, saying he had a Code 1. Demonstrating his knowledge of the police code book, Sos corrected the officer and stated, "Advertisement. This is a Code 4, not a Code 1. Everybody's safe. You're the only person who's armed." According to the Oregon Police Scanner Codes, Code 1 implies there is a situation and requests an officer for backup. Code 4 implies the situation is under control and there is no need for backup. Read more. Mother of the Year? Baltimore mom caught on video slapping, scolding son for attending riot. The two proceeded to banter, playing the game of semantics police often use to find probable cause to lay hands on someone and forcibly identify their presumed suspect. Such stop and frisks often lead to the knowledge someone may have a warrant for their arrest. All too often, however, it also ensnares entirely innocent people and treats them like criminals. If the citizen complies, officers can then use any information they obtained and legally arrest such a person and place them in jail, even if the person has committed no crime. But if the officer, is unsuccessful in ascertaining someone's ID, then the person is free to go on their way. Sos maintained his right to freely travel without having to be stopped and asked to identify himself. He contended had not committed any crime, was not committing any crime at the time the officer approached him and wished to go on his way. After asking if he could proceed on his way, he was told by an unidentified officer he was the subject of an investigation and was not allowed to leave. Sos then demanded, "Okay. I need to talk to your sergeant." That's the point in the video where he says the tide of the alleged unreasonable stop shifted in the citizen's favor. The officer supposedly radioed for his superior to arrive on scene, but later told Sos he was too far away. The two officers on scene continued to attempt to force the man to identify himself, but Sos stuck to his guns, saying, "I'm not answering any questions. I just am trying to go buy some water and I'm being unreasonably detained and interrogated." The sentiment is shared by many folks who do not feel they need the permission of police to travel freely and often respond with defiance when asked to comply with arbitrary color of law dictates they feel they have no obligation to obey. Read more. Obama Secret Service agent, "It's worse than people know and I'm not trying to scare you either." Exercising his Fifth Amendment right not to incriminate himself, such as revealing his identity which may lead to civil or criminal penalties, he said, "I'm not answering any more questions without a lawyer present." The verbal sparring continued to a critical point, at which point Sos began to question the officer's motives. He asked them why they chose him out of all the dozens of other passers-by. He insisted he did not have to prove to them he was not the alleged suspect, Michael Brooks they were searching for, and he's right. In America, people are innocent until proven guilty, not the other way around. I feel like you are discriminating against me. I feel totally violated right now. I understand you have a certain amount of fascist training that you must take, but I don't have to prove to you that I'm not a person, Michael Brooks. That's when Sos called the officer's bluff. He declared, "If you have some evidence that I am that person, then you would have to take me into custody. That would be your duty. But since I'm not that person, you have a duty to let me go." As Sos further demanded to see the sergeant, the tide began to turn even more in favor of the still unidentifiable citizen. "I want to talk to your sergeant. You're going to hear from my lawyer. I feel totally violated right now, Jim Bryant," he says as he reads the officer's business card. Sos wasn't done with Officer Bryant. He accused the officer of violating his constitutional rights to freely be able to travel unmolested, uncontested by law enforcement. He said, "I want to dress you down in front of your sergeant. You diminished yourself in my estimation. We still have no idea who Mr. Tawasi Sos really is, and we don't need to know. We just want to say thank you for showing all Americans and non-Americans alike how to stand courageously in the face of intimidation, firmly fixed on your constitutional natural law rights."
A reason that you need that flashlight on?
Just for light is in your face.
No, I'm just curious. I don't feel like you really have any cause to stop me. I'm not doing anything wrong.
If I explain more, would that help? There was someone
I want to
in
know.
someone's backyard.
I want to know why I'm being detained.
Because I want to identify who you are, sir. That's all.
What's the charge?
I'll explain that to you once I find out who you are.
You can't just stop me and identify me. There needs to be a charge.
Well, it's a possible trespass or restraining order violation.
Okay, then tell me where you think that I was.
I don't need to do that, sir. I'm just trying to identify who you are.
Well, if you think that I was trespassing, then you need to be able to tell me where I was that I was trespassing. You have to establish where I was that I was trespassing.
Where did you come from, sir?
I'm not here to answer questions. I'm trying to ask you why I'm being detained.
843. Can I get a second? Good one. I explained that to you, sir. To identify who you are.
This is a code 4. This is not a code 1.
If you identify who you are.
Everybody's
not
safe.
this
You're the
person,
only person who's armed. I'm trying to go buy some water.
I don't know who the person is that I'm trying to stop for this possible crime. So what I'm trying
I
to
didn't
explain
do
to you
anything
is
wrong. I just
your
was
jacket
walking.
Matches to
Okay, please tell me who is charging me with this crime.
nobody's being charged with anything. I have the right
Okay,
to
then do I
investigate.
have the right to leave?
No, not until I investigate it.
What are you investigating?
Your identification.
You don't have a right to just stop me and identify me. I'm not doing anything wrong.
You're in the area of a person that I'm trying to locate.
Who are you trying to locate?
Can I see your identification, sir?
I'm not committing any crime. I'm not committing
Picture by any chance?
any crime. I just was walking and I got stopped.
He's refusing to identify. He's recording us.
I'm not doing anything wrong. I just was walking.
Okay.
Why should I be subject to?
Did you not understand that I explained to you you're in the area?
That's not a crime.
Occurred.
That's not a
Reasonable
crime.
suspicion believe that you could be involved with that. Okay.
Okay.
Reasonable suspicion.
My
doesn't mean you did it.
my
Doesn't mean
question
you're
is
charged with
my
anything.
question is, who are you trying to find, and where did the alleged crime happen?
That's not important to you if you're not that person.
I'm not that person because I just was walking to
Would you
this.
like to prove that with your identification?
You
If you're
can't
not
just
that
stop me
person,
and identify me. That's a violation of my rights. I have a right. I have a right to
identify who
free.
you are,
I have a right to
and
free
if
travel.
If you're not that person, then you're free to go 100%.
I don't have to identify myself to you. I'm not committing any crime. I just was walking.
Well, you may have committed a crime. I don't know who you are, sir.
I'm going to call 911.
I wouldn't do that, okay? Because you're not in any kind of emergency.
The reason I'm in an emergency is because, okay, I need to talk to your sergeant.
843,
You're in training. I would like to talk to your sergeant.
Can you give me a total?
Do you have a business card?
Call my person. What's that? I do have a business card, and I'll give you one when we're done here, okay?
I don't understand why I'm being
I've
detained.
explained it to you. I don't know why you need to
Because there's no criminal act that you're charging me with.
You're correct.
Okay, then why are you detaining me?
For reasonable suspicion that you could be.
That's not reasonable suspicion.
Hey, Sarge. This guy was requesting to speak to my sergeant. If you could head this way. All right, thank you. He won't identify himself. That's why he's not wanting to talk to me and wants to talk to you. All right, thank you. Bye. Okay, he's on his way.
I don't feel like I did anything wrong. So
I'm not saying you did anything
I know, but you're treating me like a criminal and alleging. You're
If I
alleging.
did that, I apologize. What
You're
I'm saying is
alleging.
you're in the area, and I have reasonable suspicion you could be that person.
You do not have reasonable suspicion. You have what you allege is reasonable suspicion, but it's actually there's another word for it. If I could find my proper legal dictionary, which I don't have handy, but I believe it's called. It's not probable cause, and it's not reasonable suspicion. There's another word for it. It's I'm not a lawyer,
Okay.
but what I do know is that since I'm not a criminal and I haven't done anything wrong, then I shouldn't be shaken down by.
Well, I'm not trying to shake you down anyway.
Yeah, you're
What I'm
shaking
trying
me
to do
down
is
for
see
my
your
identification, but
If I can
that's
prove that you're not the person.
you haven't identified who that person is. How do I know that you're even searching for a real person and you're not just making this up?
Yes, you'd have to trust me.
I don't trust you
Sir.
because I just was walking. I wasn't doing anything wrong.
Are you Michael Brooks?
I am not Michael
Would
Brooks.
you like to prove that by showing me your identification?
I don't have any reason to show you my identification. I just was
Will you
walking
just
to the
ask me
store.
Identify who I'm looking for.
I
That's what I'm looking for.
I am not Michael Brooks.
Okay. Would you like to prove that with your identification, and then we can all get on our way?
I do not want to prove that. I'll be happy to wait for your sergeant. We can talk to him about what you're construing as probable cause, but I don't believe that you have probable cause.
I didn't say it probably cause.
You had reasonable suspicion. I don't believe that you have reasonable
We're
suspicion.
not lawyers, right?
I don't believe you have it. I think you're just making something up. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down to the police station tomorrow and ask for a report saying that you're looking for this person, Michael Brooks. And then if it's not there, then I'm going to know that you just made this up.
Sue me, sue whoever you want. right?
But I'm not doing anything wrong.
Okay.
I just was walking.
Can I ask you a question?
I didn't
Just
say you
about
did anything wrong,
the
but-
level with me here. I just got here, okay? Do you have family members that live in the area?
I'm not answering any questions. I just am trying to go buy some water and I'm being unreasonably detained
Okay.
and interrogated.
No,
I'm not answering any questions without a lawyer present.
You're not answering any questions.
Without a lawyer present, I'm not answering any
That's
questions.
fine. Can you just hear me out then? So the reason why we're looking for this Michael Brooks individual, because he committed a crime upon someone, okay? And
That's your job.
it just recently happened, okay?
That's your job. I appreciate that.
Thank
But
you.
if you don't know who he is, then how can you try and identify me as him? How are you going to find him if you don't even know who he
Matches
is?
Similar
The
to the
appearance.
description.
That's what we have to go.
That
for.
is
Our
like the
witnesses-
slimmest of.
You're right. I'm not trying to say it that way.
But I'm not doing anything wrong. I just was going to get some water.
Sir, I'm trying to make it very clear to you. I don't think you're doing anything wrong. I just need to verify you're not who Michael Brooks is. If you're not Michael Brooks,
I
then we just walk away.
I just stated I was not Michael Brooks. Why would I perjure myself? Why would I perjure myself to you?
People lie to me all the time. So if
But
you could
I
prove
think
that
I
with
think
the
that we both are men of
identification
honor
chart
here.
from any state,
I like to think that we're all men of honor here, and I honestly feel like you're on very shaky ground. I don't think that I have any reason to identify myself to you. Suspicion is not a reason to stop someone and identify them.
it is, sir.
Suspicion, you can stop people in
If you're
suspicion.
in the area, a crime just occurred, and unfortunately, your jacket matches close to the description. It doesn't even have to be exact.
Okay, what's the description?
A lighter colored puffy jacket.
This is canvas. It's not puffy at all.
But in my training experience as a police officer, I've had people say a white jacket when it's gray or a dark jacket when it's light. I mean,
Why are you stopping me when there's dozens of other people around?
because you're in the area of something that
There's
we're investigating.
dozens of other
made that
people
clear.
around. But you
The
singled
ball's in your
singled
court. I
me
know who
out.
We're looking for.
You
Right.
singled me out when there's
you had
dozens of other
different
people
background, I
around.
wouldn't be talking to you.
And so that's why I believe that you're just honestly, I feel like you are discriminating against me because I didn't do anything wrong, and I just was just walking.
Like you said, we do have a job to do, correct?
Yeah, I wish that you would go and catch the person who you're trying to catch instead of harassing an innocent person.
Prove that you're not that person, then we will
I'm sorry, but that's not the way it works in this country. Okay. And I understand you have a certain amount of fascist training you're subjugated to and you're subject to because your training teaches you to behave in a way, but I don't have to prove to you that I'm not a person. I literally do not have to prove to you that I'm not a person. Walking along is not cause for me to prove to you that I'm not a person. If you have some evidence, if you have some evidence that I'm not person, if you have some evidence that I'm that person, then you would take me into custody. That would be your duty. But since I'm not that person, you have a duty to let me go.
Okay. As soon as we get a picture of that person, then we don't even have to identify you. Okay.
You don't have to identify me. You don't have to identify me. The same way you didn't identify any of these other people. You didn't identify anyone else. The only person you identified was me.
Okay, you're free to go, sir. The pictures.
I want your business card.
Thank you for your time. Yep.
Try to understand where we're coming from.
I want to talk to your sergeant.
He was on his way, but he was coming from Columbus Boulevard, so it was a ways out.
I understand, but I wasn't doing anything wrong, and you guys took it upon yourself, of all the people in this parking lot, to come over and question me.
To talk to you, because your jacket loosely fit.
There's lots of people responding to this, and one of them is going to be my lawyer.
Okay, that's
and I feel totally violated right now.
Well, you can
Jim Bryant.
Yep. You can walk away at any
actually,
point.
I need to express to your sergeant how disappointed I am in your training.
Okay.
Well, sir, after I explain why we are here and what happened, you still feel the same way?
You guys are violating my right to free travel. I have a right to travel unmolested under the United States Constitution. It's your job to uphold the United States Constitution. You decided to initiate this contact. I was trying to go and get some water. Actually, I want to talk to your sergeant and dress you down in front of him because you're ashamed to that badge. You're not any kind of a law enforcement officer.
Defend what I did, okay? And I would hope that you would understand that if you were the person the crime just got committed against,
I'm gonna go and find that. I'm gonna go and try and find that file that says that whatever report you just made up, because I don't think it's real.
If you go to law enforcement tomorrow and request that, you can find that.
I honestly don't believe you. You've diminished yourself in my estimation, and you've diminished the quality of service of Corvallis Police Department.
I'm sorry you feel that way.
You're not serving the public. You're harassing somebody who's trying to walk and buy a drink.
Okay. I'm sorry you feel that way. That was not my intention. My intention was to try to do my job, and I tried to explain it in a way that you would understand that I wasn't trying to harass you.
You guys, this is a miscarriage of justice.
If you're so concerned about going and getting your drink and free travel, you can leave.
I was until you said that. You said some.
You just need more stuff to put on YouTube. So.
Well, you know what?
Here I am. Okay.
You know what? I'm not here to get harassed. I'm here to get a soda. But now that we've established that you're in training and your training has failed you, then I need to talk to your sergeant and tell him that you're not doing your job appropriately.
Yeah.
It needs to be addressed. I'll go and talk to.
How do you discern that I'm in training?
It says it right on your arm.
Well, unfortunately, that means I'm a training officer, which means I train.
Oh my gosh.
So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is a real disappointment. That's extra disappointing. And
sorry,
I just was trying to go over and get a drink.
Go ahead and get a drink.
Well, I seriously want to talk to your sergeant, and that's why I asked.
Okay. Where would you like me to have meet you? Because I'm going to leave.
Well, you're welcome to leave.
Thank you.
It's not my job to detain people.
Yep, and it is mine. I hope you understand that someday, okay?
It's license plate number E245940, unit 951. And this license plate number is E262789. Shame. Shame. All right, a third unit just showed up. So far, we've got Jim Bryant and Derek Samuel. Someone just tried to call me. Hopefully that was my lawyer. This one is E269165. How do you like them apples, friends? I don't even know what to say about that. I really don't even know what to say. This is ridiculous. I'm just trying to go buy a drink and I get singled out by law enforcement. They come over and harass me. This is total baloney. I'm outraged right now. I don't even know what you guys are saying. I'm gonna read what you guys are saying for a minute here. Still got one of the thugs here watching me. Just looking at your guys' comments for a second. Fortunately, I remembered to unplug my headphones after a moment there so you guys could actually hear what I was saying, because the first part my headphones were plugged in and it disabled my microphone. Alright guys, it looks like the pigs cleared out. They mostly have gone. So I'm going to let you guys go. Thanks for all being there and being witness to what just went down. As you notice, like, I wasn't doing anything wrong. I just was walking and the police came up and shined a flashlight on me. I recorded part of it before I went live and I had the presence of mind to go live so I could get the rest of it out there to anyone who wants to look at this. But I'll post the other video of them harassing me, but I forgot to unplug my headphones, and my headphones are broken, so it doesn't have a built-in microphone anymore. So I didn't get to record the audio on it until the end. But that was ridiculous what just happened. That was totally ridiculous. Anyway, guys, thanks for being there, and I will talk with you really soon.
County, this is Charlotte County Cop Watch, and I wanted to explain what fair use is. You can use pieces of news articles if you're doing it for news reporting, you have commentary, and you're doing it for education purposes. So that's what fair use is, as you can see right here. Another reason why I wanted to make this video is to let you know I have just joined with Patreon. A nice thing with Patreon, I make no money on YouTube. They took the money away years ago, and so this is another way to give, and it's a nice thing too because you can give monthly. You can give $1, $5, $10, whatever. I do 4 to 5 hours a day on trying to wake the sheeple up on how corrupt it is and different ways that you can fight the corruption. So Patreon is a way that you can do it, and then of course the old way is still there. Donate to Sheriff County Cop Watch with PayPal or credit card. So keep that in mind. 4 to 5 hours a day. I make no money, but the corruption happened to me and I'm sick of it, so I'm trying to wake people up. But my wife would love it if if we could get some help out there. There's 47,000 subscribers. Just think if each one of you subscribers just gave let's say actually yes, $1 a month. 47,000 subscribers gave $1 a month. That would be awesome. That's not going to happen. But anyways, that would be great if it did happen. But, you know, do the math in your head. Just think about it. Like I said, 4 to 5 hours a day. I get no money from YouTube. YouTube has gone nuts. You can't do anything anymore. They're taking the money away everywhere. So these are a couple different ways that you can still help out with all this time that I put in. And as you know, I'm in a special situation where, you know, at least I can do it. You know, 4 to 5 hours a day. We have a cleaning company during the day. That's what allows me to do this, and we're debt free. So this is my hobby. I don't go fishing and all that other crap. I try to save the world. So help me out to make the wife happy, man. In fact, if you guys did give $1 a day, and there was 47,000 of you, and you did it, and each of you gave $1, and that was every month, oh my God, yes, I could quit. I could start suing them. Another idea too that we have is, you know, if I got, you know, some funds, we could actually contact everyone that has been ticketed and or arrested and put in jail and start sending them postcards to let them know we're here, and to see if everything went all right, and if it didn't, find out their story. So we could even do more investigations and more lawsuits. Lawsuits take money. So just think about that. You know, 47,000 of you so far right now. You know, $1 a day. I mean, $1 a month on Patreon, or $5 a month Patreon, 10, 20, whatever. Just do the math in your head. Help out. This is a lot of work every single day. Thanks.